Did you ever want to punch Aches in the face?
A couple times. Yes. I have a lot of respect for that dude. I came up with that dude, and I wouldn't be where I am, or I wouldn't have won so quickly because of him taking a chance on me. So I have a lot of respect for him, but there's also, the way I always say it is, Aches won me a lot of money and lost me a lot of money too.
Ooh. The year is 2014. You're a young Nadeshot. You're enjoying life, trying to be the best version of yourself. But there's just one thing stopping you.
Dog, I already know where this is going. Just get out with it.
Is a man named Tyler Teepee Intro.
You're an asshole.
That's
who is basically the same role as Nadeshot, but just about 30 to 40% better depending on the game.
30 to 40. At least give me like 15 or 20.
That's good guess. Let's go.
Jesus Christ, Jack.
Jack's trying to start a fight right away.
No, we're gonna get into some juicy Call of Duty questions. I'm sure, dog. But
so let's give him a proper introduction, because I didn't see 30 to 40% better than Nadeshot in our one sheet here about Tyler Teepee Intro. So let's do this. 2014 Call of Duty World Champion alongside Aches, Karma, and Crim6. That was an incredible win for you guys. He's played on different teams such as Evil Geniuses, Team Envious, and Optic Gaming. He's a former coach of Optic Gaming in the CWL, current desk analyst for the CDL, and the creator of the Breaktime Boys brand. But I don't think it's actually listing the proper achievements here. Tyler, in my opinion, Tyler is the one person that knows how to drive subscribers on Twitch better than anybody else. I mean, guys, I don't think you understand. TP is one of the few professional Call of Duty players to ever transcend the game of competition and actually create content. And this might be the most consistent streamer in the last few years. And he's got, are you still over 30,000 subs, Tyler?
I'm at like 26, 27, hovering around there right now.
Just absolutely crushing. Absolutely crushing.
26K subs sucks, dude.
It's
that really sucks.
Yeah. You really are not good at what you do. Crazy. No, but guys, listen, TP is one of the greatest Call of Duty players of all time. And now he's a full-time content creator, carving his own lane. And I can't wait to just talk to him. Tyler, how you doing, man?
Amazing, man. I appreciate the kind words. When I got hit up to do this, I was super excited to chat with you both. I've known you guys for a long ass time. I respect you guys, and I've sort of like followed in your guys' footsteps as well. I've only been doing full-time content since this past August, so I'm like coming up on a year on it. But it's been a crazy road. These past couple of years, streaming has started to blow up a little bit for me, and it's been absolutely amazing. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Well, now listen, Tyler, we're excited to have you on here too, and we can't wait to chat. But obviously, we got to, keep the lights on here, and we got to thank a couple sponsors for all the contributions that they always make that allow the CouRage and Nadeshot Show to live every single day. As you guys know, 100 Thieves is sponsored, and the CouRage and Nadeshot Show is brought to you by Cash App. If you aren't following Cash App on Twitch, you are missing out on a ton of opportunities to get free cash. Cash App hosts free cash giveaways all the time on their Twitch channel. So be sure to stay up to date for when they go live to see great content around gaming and free cash. We all love free money. I love free money. This is free money. So make sure you guys pay attention. Oh my God, I completely forgot. If you don't use Cash App, then fuck you. You may even see some of your favorite 100 Thieves creators up there on twitch.tv/Cash App. Finally, we're stoked to be working with the Cash App to support the Gamers Outreach Foundation. When you sign up for Cash App and use the promo code THIEVES, THIEVES, you will not only receive $10 for free, but Cash App will also donate $10 to Gamers Outreach, an amazing organization founded by Zach Weigel that provides video games to kids dealing with long-term treatments in hospitals. So remember to use code THIEVES when you download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today. If you guys don't have Cash App yet, I'm going to come over there wherever you live and hit you over the side of the head, because $10 free for you, $10 for the kids in hospitals. Don't be an asshole. Download the app. Oh, nice chewing there, Jack. I wonder why you're doing that.
Man, good. Did you hear the crunch of those chips? These chips in my mouth taste great. And they can taste great in your mouth too. Of our other proud sponsor, Chipotle. I love Chipotle more than I love my sister. Chipotle has great things like double steak, brown rice, tomatillo green salsa, cheese, lettuce plus chips. Wait, is that Matt? Is that your exact order?
That's my order. Well, I've been doing chicken lately, but well, I've been doing double chicken because it's a little easier on my teeth. I need to have a good balance of like, you know, you have the red meat and then you have chicken. So
is that how that works? Okay. Well, also, if you guys didn't know, Chipotle supports the CouRage and Nadeshot Show, but also they've been running some great tournaments called the Chipotle Challenger Series. On July 16th, the second edition of the Chipotle Challenger Series will allow fans to play against Offset of Migos, actor Finn Wolfhard, who's my boy. He plays Mike from Stranger Things, pro football players Von Miller and Kyler Murray, and your favorite gaming talent, aka me.
And me.
I'm your favorite gaming talent. You can register for the qualifiers at ChipotleChallengerSeries.com and tune into the final at twitch.tv/Chipotle. We'll see you there.
All right. Hey, look it. Now we got it all out of the way. Now we can ask Tyler the real questions.
What you got?
Why
Tyler?
is Aches?
Oh, you were gonna go with Aches too? Oh my god!
No, you go. Then you go.
Okay, here we go.
Did you ever want to punch Aches in the face?
Couple times. Yes. Couple
Good,
times.
because me too.
Man, I have a lot of respect for that dude. I came up with that dude, and I wouldn't be where I am, or I wouldn't have won so quickly because of him taking a chance on me. So I have a lot of respect for him, but there's also the way I always say it is Aches won me a lot of money and lost me a lot of money too.
Oh, I like that.
Shit.
Straight up. But the way I feel like me and him just thought so similarly of how to play the game. And our styles worked out pretty well. He was a little bit faster pace, you know, ego chow a little bit more. I was a little bit more conservative. You guys know how I play Call of Duty. So I feel like when we came together, it was just a really good match. And the fact we were able to put together some really strong lineups early in our careers is really what set us off on the right foot. And that early success is what propelled us forward for the next couple of years, for sure.
Well, I see you don't strike me as the type of person to get into an argument, right? And I know Aches likes to push people's buttons, and maybe like unbeknownst to him, I don't think he realizes how he says things sometimes. I mean, by this point, he has to know. He's in his mid-20s. It's like you're old enough to understand there's a certain way to talk to people. And I was at fault for this as well. Back in my career, yelling at teammates for making mistakes, even though I probably made a ton of mistakes as well. So did you guys ever get into like any blowout arguments where you're just like, I can't fucking do this anymore?
Honestly, me and him, we never really argued like that, but that was probably like more on my side. But whenever like me and him would have a one-on-one, we usually got to some sort of resolution or conclusion. A lot. It was most of the time when our other teammates got involved is when the shit show started. The complexity lineups, when we teamed on Envy, there's just a lot of bashing heads. And I feel like there's certain people in the Call of Duty scene that he made it a point to be rivals with or wanted to argue with. And the guy is very good at arguing. So he would just stand his ground a lot. So I feel like with me and him, I don't know if it was just like a respect thing between us two or what it was, but when I had a bone to pick with him, I feel like we got to a good solution pretty quickly. When other people got involved, that's when, oh man, it would just go in a circle. We'd argue for hours and get nowhere. It was stupid, straight up.
I mean, listen, I think back to some of the early moments of my Call of Duty casting career and how you mentioned Aches was a big reason for the start of your success. I kind of put you and Matt on that same spot for me. You know, you guys were two of the most welcoming people.
It's cool. It's cool.
In letting me come on through. But my first ever time casting an event, I walked out of the lobby. Chris Puckett introduced me to Ava, was the first person he introduced me to. And then we sat down at a table and there was so much stuff going on. And the two people that came over and immediately said hello, and then I talked to the whole night, was Tyler and Deej. And I'll never forget talking that whole time. That was the first time Hex came over and was bashing Scump for something that was going on in his personal life, that he was just being stupid about how he was handling it. And we were all just ripping on him. And I just remember being like, wow, you guys are so nice to me. So it's been like 6 years, Teepee, but I don't forget, man. So thank you. I appreciate you being so nice to me on our first ever event together at MLG Columbus 2014, the event where Lizard Squad hit it offline with 200,000 viewers.
What a mess, dude.
Matt was in grand finals for that one, and shit hit the fan. That was
I wasn't in the grand finals of any tournament in 2014.
Wasn't that the first event of AW? Wasn't that when you were in the grand finals?
Was I?
Against FaZe? Wasn't it
Against
Optic
FaZe.
versus FaZe?
Oh, yeah. We should never lost that, bro. Formal choked to 1v1 versus Aches to lose us the tournament.
There you go.
No, hey. People don't talk about it enough, bro. Listen, don't get me wrong. I know how many championships I won because of Formal. That guy is a freak of nature and is probably one of the most raw talents, one of the best raw talents in all of gaming history. Like, he picks up any game, whatever. He lost a 1v1 on Biolab S&D to Aches, and we would have won. Facts. They happened.
Oh.
So, hey, stop bringing up the HBR. Even the good players make mistakes too.
I find it so interesting how every time you speak to a pro player, because I did so many interviews across different games, and whether it was when I was interviewing on Fortnite or on Call of Duty, and you'd bring up certain moments, and pro players and people that competed in those times have like photographic memory, like Matt, how you just remembered Formal losing that 1v1 on Biolab. Like, Teep, is there like a play in your mind that you think of that you're like, is either an incredible play or a play that you're like, man, we choked that moment, that was a big, moment in my career that just like comes to mind like that? Because I feel like so many players do.
I'll give you a good and a bad.
Okay.
A bad one was Black Ops 2 champs, Aftermath S&D. We go to the round 11 and we get the bomb down. We're in a really good spot to make it to the final.
Yeah. I just realized. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically what happened is I should have had a first blood. I ended up stopped shooting because I saw multiple people pushing me on the bomb site. Kind of like a choke on my part, but also like when you overcommit to a fight, you don't want to get team shotted down too. So I tried to play my life in the situation since we had bomb down. Anyways, I don't get the kill onto Big T. I end up getting blooded. And then sure enough, we get 3-piece by Scump. We end up losing. It was the first time. It was the only time in my career where I spiked my controller afterwards. I was so upset. You guys know me. I'm pretty calm. I don't really rage ever. But that was that situation was a little bit of unfortunate and a crazy play from the Optic squad. But that one was,
I don't know much about that situation or anything. I wasn't on that. Hey, no, listen. Every single round of Aftermath S&D, I'm not kidding. I wide flanked every round.
Yeah,
every round I would push flank. I still cannot make this up to this day. And when I initially I think I got first blooded actually. I think you killed me, and I just had this.
I don't know how it played out exactly. I think I remember choking a kill or something though.
Well, maybe it wasn't you, but somebody else killed me, and I got first blood, and I was like, oh, we lost. All right, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No,
what was the best play that you feel like you've made that you can think of vividly?
I guess it was probably the Sov Dom at Ghost Champs when I sort of took over on the second side. Yeah.
Shit, that was me again too.
Yeah. It just so happens that you're involved. Hey, at least you got a good one though.
True.
You got a good one too.
Yeah.
Sov Dom, we were down, and for whatever reason on that side, the second side of that Sov Dom, we were able to make the comeback and force the map 5. But y'all were getting smoked for some reason. I don't know. I wasn't dying.
Shit. Thank God, bro. Thank God. I'm just gonna say this now. Thank God Embos went 4 and something, because I was right behind him. I mean, I had 7 kills on the map. Dude, for whatever reason, that second side, we just couldn't win a gunfight. It was tragic and we costed, but that's just how it goes. I mean, there's hot streaks, there's cold streaks, and sometimes players catch fire and there's nothing you can do to stop them. And that's Call of Duty, man. It's a game of momentum. And no one can convince me otherwise. It's if you look at us at COD Ghosts at X Games, bro, we should have never beat TP's team. We should have never beat Evil Geniuses. We just got hot and started making small plays, and it snowballed, and we ended up winning. But if we played them 10 times, we probably would have won twice out of those 10. If that.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah, it's funny looking back and knowing of your guys' past and how long that is. But Teep, the big thing going on right now is, I think, all the accomplishments you had in your playing career. I'm sitting here wondering, damn, we like to ask a quick question about money on this show. You made more money now streaming than you ever did in your whole competing career, or is it close?
I'm making a lot more streaming and doing content.
Woo! That's
This
what you love to hear.
motherfucker TP is cashing out. I'm going straight to the bank with this.
Hey, bro. Shit, you see that in the background? That's not actually his room. He's just in a green screen. That fool's that fool's in a goddamn mega McMansion. It got like shit.
No.
He owns a compound.
So I gotta ask you this, because a couple weeks ago we played together for the first time on Warzone, and I think Symfuhny was playing, and maybe one other person. We did quads, whatever, and we somehow started talking about the topic of money, and obviously you got a lot of subs, and it's not like something you can hide. Everybody knows how much you're making from that, and that's the only thing they see, not everything else. So in my mind, you're obviously a very humble person, tons of humility. And that's why I've always been a big fan of you, because whenever I lose to you, I wouldn't feel as bad, but I knew like Eggs was going to have a shit eating grin on his face and I was going to hate him.
Yeah.
But you were just always like quiet, cool, calm, cool, collective. So I got to ask, it's like you have making all this cash and you guys probably are going to buy a house if you don't own one already. But like, what's the first thing that you're going to buy for yourself that you really love? Like you're going to splurge. I mean, there's got to be one nice thing that's more on the expensive side that you've had your eye on, or maybe even thinking about. Maybe you haven't thought about it enough, but it's just been like a scratch that you might need to itch in the future. You got to give me something.
So we're buying a house here in Texas. That's like our big. I mean, it's our first house, so it's a big moment for us. The whole reason that we made the move to Texas we're from SoCal, San Diego, North County. So a big reason why we came out here is to put ourselves in a better financial position. When I stopped competing, I was doing like commentary, and then I eventually started coaching the optics squad. I wasn't making like that much money, and especially living in Cali was kind of expensive too. So the whole reason, the wife got a job out here. I was coaching optics, so the move out to Frisco was to kind of put us in a better spot financially. And then all of a sudden, the streaming and my content started to blow up with Blackout and being along the optic guys, being along Scump and Crim6, those guys. So it's been a huge blessing, man. So I guess the biggest thing for me, I'm not like a car guy. I'm not like a clothes guy, really. Maybe I will develop that more, but it's not something like I want to. I'm not like I don't want to gloat at all. And the fact that I got to this position all of a sudden, I think it's a mixture of talent, right timing, and some luck to it, right? I've been streaming for so long, for years and years and years, since 2011. And the fact that this happened for me all of a sudden, I guess the biggest thing for me would be buying like a really nice house in like California, where our family is. I don't know, maybe a house on the beach or something. Obviously, I don't really know. Maybe like long-term dreams is I guess what I'm going for here. But this is all still pretty new for me. And yes, I'm making a lot more. I'm just focused on trying to stay level-headed, because you never know if it's gonna go away. I want to do more to like give back, because it's just like that's who I am. I know the position. I know how fortunate I am right now. But I don't know, a nice ass house. But
there you go. I see. Now that's something, especially in California, man. Real estate out here isn't it's a pretty penny to buy something of really big value. And so, look, the one thing that I say, and what I think now that Warzone had so much success is that, you're good for like another 10 years, I bet. If I don't take anything for granted either. I always have this impending doom that my career is going to be over. But after Blackout having somewhat of a success and now Warzone crushing, Call of Duty ain't going anywhere, brother. Keep stacking them chips, invest it, and that house is going to be yours, 2-3 years.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing to think of, dude. Is like, man, I think Blackout came out and it was really good, and I know you look back fondly on that, but Warzone has far and away crushed every aspect of Blackout at this point. Like, I think it was a little bit of a slow start for you guys on Warzone. I remember the first like couple weeks. I remember you guys like talking more about things you missed on Blackout. You guys were the ones who were crushing so much with getting gifted subs and subs on Blackout that it looked like it was struggling to transfer over a little bit. But then, dude, now that it's kicked into gear, I mean, I enjoyed Blackout, but dog, they were making so many wrong decisions with the game from, I think, not really a Treyarch side. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Teep, but more what seemed like an Activision side of the platform decisions, cross-platform type decisions. And I'm assuming that that's kind of the publishing side of what they want to do with the vision of the game. And now with this one, with it being cross-platform, with it being free to play, with the updates being the way that they are, the store being the way that it is, where it's no longer loot crates and stuff, I think they've just really realized where they messed up with Blackout, where they've now grown to, and with Treyarch doing the next game, with what we know and love about Vaughn so much and the vision that and the creative they have there, you got to be thinking that they're probably cooking up something great again with those new things, you know?
Absolutely. I think there's a place where we can get to where you take features from Blackout, the camos, for example. The reactive camos in Blackout were absolutely incredible. And I feel like the blueprint system in Warzone is a little bit lackluster. I feel like over time, though, like you nailed it. The cross-platform, the free-to-play, it's something that we've been waiting for in the Call of Duty scene for so damn long. And to get the player base up and keep the player base for longer than just a couple of months. Because from what we've seen over the past couple of years, there's a hot start, and then pretty quickly the player base starts to die down. There's not really much to play to keep people playing Call of Duty. So now that they've kind of dove into the whole BR genre, when Blackout came out, like my eyes lit up. It's like for someone that was in my position that wasn't competing anymore, like I knew like that was my opportunity, where BR games are just easier to stream. It's easier for people to watch. There's just like more time for interaction overall. And I think if they can keep continuing and take really good features from Blackout, I think there's nowhere to go but up. As far as Warzone, I think the map needs some work. I think the Blackout map was better and more playable for more period of time compared to Warzone. The buildings suck. You guys can admit it too. The building design, they're insane. There's a lot of positives and negatives, and I feel like if we can keep improving upon what we have here with Warzone, like there's no reason why it can't keep popping off in terms of viewership and player base.
Yeah, I wonder if because we talk about it with the CDFs, with the Call of Duty League, for example. What's funny is it's a blessing and a curse, it seems at times, for competitive COD, where one year you get a great game, next year it's not as good of a game or well received as the audience. So that always has an effect on viewership, across the board. That I almost begin to wonder, does that then transition into something like the Call of Duty BRs? Like all your numbers have gone up with Warzone. Warzone's broken all these records. Call of Duty is probably at its biggest it's ever been in its history with how big gaming has now become. Now it's like, do you just get to a point where you hope that Call of Duty makes this BR, like let's say it is Warzone, where instead of Warzone just being ditched like it normally happens, Warzone is now embraced for years to come, and it becomes like a collaborative effort across the studios.
Well, I think that's what they already said they're doing.
Well, I think Infinity Ward has said that they plan to support it for as long as people are playing it. But what I mean is like Treyarch then adds fate, because right now Infinity Ward.
That's what I'm saying though. They've already said that Warzone is going to be like the basis of all Call of Duty like battle royale from here on out.
Damn, if that's the case and they do that, and like we see something unprecedented, like for the first time there's a, they've done it like once where Treyarch and Infinity Ward have bounced off each other to promote the new games or do things. Like imagine the Treyarch iconic maps now mixing into the Warzone map and it just becoming this ever-encompassing Call of Duty universe.
Sure, it would be fire, man.
So good.
It would be sick. And again, take all the best parts, as you mentioned, the camos, the progression that we're used to seeing and loving in Treyarch games, but then I personally like the gunplay more in Infinity Ward type games.
100%.
Like I like shooting so much more in Warzone than in Blackout. It's also better optimized in my opinion too.
What needs to change though is the fucking camos. All right, listen, hey, Infinity Ward, I've said it on stream a million times. I'll say it again, and we got Teepee here. Hey, he might co-sign me unless I say it a little too mean. Listen, the camos fucking suck. Nobody wants the bullshit that you're peddling to us. It's terrible. The blueprint system sucks. I mean, it's useless. Just give us reactive camos. I want my guns to light up. Don't talk to me about this realism bullshit that everyone's complaining about. This is Call of Duty. We're in the military. This is war. Then guess what? You wouldn't be giving us Hot Wheels cars and fucking anime titties on big trucks. The camos are dog shit. You try to sell me an avocado pack where the gun literally looked like a baby threw up on a mama's, like on its bibbit, bayonet, whatever the fuck it's called. Listen, the camos are ass, and I just can't even fathom how many terrible camos I've bought. Some of the operators are cool.
Yep.
The tracer bullets are cool.
The tracer bullets are really cool. Yeah. There's
and the
some
executions.
good.
The executions.
Executions are cool.
Oh,
really
executions are fire.
And then, like, yeah, bro, I tuned into TP stream on Blackout, and it looked like he was using a dragon's tail on his damn weapon, as it had spikes and shit, dog. Like, but yeah, I completely agree. In a first-person game, you can't have boring weapon camos of all things. And then you add in, bro, look back on Dark Matter versus whatever the hell it's called in this game. Damascus, dog. That looks like my fucking hydro flask. Damascus looks like my hydro flask. That's what the camo is. Like, how am I supposed to be excited about that, bro?
Dude, I completely agree. And it kind of feels like a scam to me, sort of too, with the way blueprints work. So you get a cool camo, right? You find something in the store finally that you want to put on your guns, right? If you change certain attachments on it, some of that cool stuff goes away too. So like you're spending money, you're spending COD points on these cool blueprints, but then you try and put the attachments that you want on it, and then some of it goes away. So it's just like, I just don't think that was a well thought out thing. And the fact that you can't put the cool tracer bullets on all your different guns, like that doesn't make any sense to me. It just seems like they're trying to find ways to make you buy more stuff, but it's not super clear with how the blueprint attachments work either, in my opinion. And I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a fucking joke, Tyler. I mean, look,
I don't like it.
You guys, you're trying to finesse and figure out small ways for people to buy more packs because they only want one thing from that one pack, and it's bullshit. You guys would sell 10x the amount of packs if you didn't think in this asinine way. If you just made good camos, good operators, and like sold them individually instead of like bubbling them all up into this, it sucks. It sucks. And item store layout sucks too.
We're quick. We're all right. Well, we get it. We hate camos. We're quick to bash, but I also want to make sure, because I think we're all pretty similar, and we show our love and we say it, but then we also give tough love. Like, I hold high expectations for a game made with this scale, this big of a budget, with this many eyes on it, right? And it's safe to say Warzone's did a lot of things right. So, like, Teep, if you had to say that your number, like, what are your favorite things about Warzone and why it is so well received?
I'll list a couple for you. The pace of it feels good. The fact that you can like hop out of vehicles super quickly and keep that sort of pace going and keeps you in the action, that's awesome. The gunplay is great. I feel like the way the guns sort of function, the way the guns are balanced for the most part, are pretty damn good. Besides the graw, I think the graw needs to get changed a little bit, obviously. But besides that, man, like, it just, you said it before, shooting your guns in Warzone compared to Blackout just feels so much more satisfying. Getting like a sniper headshot, for example, feels so damn satisfying. And I feel like if they, I don't know, take like even just like the headshot sound from Blackout and you throw it right into Warzone, I think that would just give you that nice feeling after a headshot and make it feel even better too. So I just feel like there's a balance to be made there, and Warzone has done so many things well. But the reason we argue the way that we do is we've been dealing with this in Call of Duty for so long. We get these new features that are awesome, and then they'll go away. And we'll get like new features like a couple years down the road, and then they'll go away. So if we can find like some cohesion and take all the good stuff and put it together, that's why we get so frustrated, because Activision, Call of Duty, the devs make such cool things. If they could combine it all together, it'd be incredible. It'd be absolutely incredible. I wonder if we're ever going to get there.
It seems like we've gotten closer. It seems like we've gotten closer with Warzone, but
no, I mean, look, dude, I know I bash the game a lot. I really do, but I do love Warzone, and I think it's been the best evolution or iteration of Call of Duty that they've had in a long time. But there's just places they need to tighten up. But I completely agree with you, Tyler. I think that if there were a little bit more cohesiveness with the studios and a little bit more common sense in certain situations, I think we'd be better off. Look, I want to switch gears, man. You talk about Warzone all day, and you talk about Battle Royale in general a lot. I want to ask you something personal. In all your events that you have traveled to, I mean, obviously, you and I competing for so long, we've been to a lot of different cities. What is your craziest late night hotel story? I mean, there's got to be one. There's got to be something that you guys did or the team did in a different city or somebody's room that happened and you're like, oh shit.
Let me think a little bit. It was one good one is I don't know. It wasn't like a crazy story or anything. I just remember getting really, really, really drunk at one of the Columbus events afterwards, and I think, man, was it the one you were talking about before, Jack? It might have been that one, the 2014 one. Anyways, I just remember, like, I usually don't drink like that. I like to drink, don't get me wrong, but for whatever reason, after that one, I must have had like one too many drinks, one too many shots or something. I was feeling good, absolutely amazing. And I remember we were like going to like a bunch of different bars and things like that. In terms of like a team dynamic, though, I mean, I guess it's just like funny situations. Like, I don't know, the Complexity team in Paris. It was the first time being in Paris together, and the fact that we all just had we didn't speak any French, and just like trying to get around and trying to get the bars and trying to get the shopping and things like that. My teammates were stupid. They're disrespectful. So there's just like a bunch of weird situations like that where we're just a bunch of dumb Americans trying to travel around in foreign lands. I don't know, man. Dude. I'm probably not thinking of like certain situations, or there's situations that I shouldn't be talking about to begin with. But
one that comes to mind for me was London. I always think of like right away. I just think of like the London Gfinity events, because those would always end up at the Hippodrome Casino.
Yeah.
In that basement, getting some gambling in, and like that was back when like I was like, I just gambled $50. I'm done for the night. You know, like I'm good on this. I got paid like $500 to travel all the way to London. I'm not spending all my damn money that I got paid for this. But I remember being in the Hippodrome Casino, and it was one of the big events where like everyone went out for it. So all the FaZe guys were there, and everyone was in the basement of the Hippodrome. And I remember I was playing with Formal, and I were playing roulette, but then there was another roulette table go with like FaZe, Rain, Banks, and all those guys. And I remember back then I'd never really seen anyone try to really gamble money. And I think Rain started, or Bank, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Rain, had like $250 that he put on red, and plays it on red, and it hits. And then people are like, oh, nice. Doubles it, keeps the money on it, lets it roll. 500 hits, 1,000 hits, 2,000 hits. People start crowding it. They're all cheering, you know, when security starts to walk over. And then everyone's like, do it again. Rain's like, fuck it. Does 2,000, hits to 4K. And then Banks comes over. He's like, Norden, bro, you got this shit. One more. Runs it again. He wins like $8,000 in literally 4 minutes and walks from the table. And I was like, that was fucking badass. And I still remember that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put $10 on red. And I look over at like Rain and Banks is fucking going crazy. They had to clear the place out because there were like 50 people crowding the table.
The Hippodrome did not treat me well at all, ever. Yeah. Did you guys win there?
I think I'm like in my history like even there, but I think it's treated like Hastro and Hector really well, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, here's the thing, man. With any casino, if you go there more than once, it's not treating you well. Because, dude, I'm sure everyone that has been to the Hippodrome or any casino for that matter can remember some good hands they won. But I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who has left the casino multiple times a net positive. Okay, like if you have a good discipline, maybe, but man, I know me, I'm a degenerate gambler. It just doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of antics happen at the hotels late at night on the weekends, because when you go to these MLG events, man, you're hanging out with your boys online for months and months and months, and then you finally get together, and it's like, yeah, everyone's thinking about this tournament that we got to play, and everybody wants to win. But everybody also wants to have a good time with their boys that they only get to see every couple months every year. So it's everybody wants to drink, everybody wants to smoke, everybody wants to do this, that, and the other. And, you know, I've definitely partaken in some of these events. And, you know, if at another day, another time when sponsors aren't as important, I'd tell you guys some pretty good stories. Nothing crazy, but nothing crazy.
We'll save that.
I'll put it in the memoir.
For later on. No, yeah, it's some good ass times. I love events. They just announced today that TwitchCon is canceled due to COVID. So I know TwitchCon is an event that, hell, last year TwitchCon, my God, that was too much fun. Matt and I stayed at a house with Tim, Jordan Fisher, Action Jackson, Lupo,
Ninja.
No.
You just said no.
No, definitely not Ninja. But man, we had a good ass time, and that was when we played Twitch Rivals. That was the 100 Thieves party. So it sucks your TwitchCon is canceled. Teep, I'm sure you would have been going to TwitchCon for sure. That's back in your hometown, and with everything that's been going on, you would have been one of the big faces there. So I feel bad for everyone that was looking forward to it, because I just know how big it is for the Twitch community, and hell, I'm sure I would have just gone and not gone to the event floor, but hung out with everybody, because that's one of those events that everyone kind of goes to. So just another downside of all the event stuff that's been happening. But on the other hand, a lot of things like all the E3 shows have now turned into online shows. EA Play just happened, and they said Apex Legends now cross-platform everywhere and coming out on the Switch. Last of Us 2 coming out tomorrow. So I feel like gaming is still in good hands overall with everything that's been going on with stuff that's coming out still.
Tyler, on that note, we obviously, with COVID happening, all of the CDL events got canceled. And I'm just curious, now that you're not coaching anymore and you don't really have any affiliation with the league besides the fact that you might be an analyst here and there.
Yeah.
How do you think that Activision is handling the Call of Duty World League and the new franchise? I mean, let me ask you this even better. If you were in a position with an organization, hypothetically, where you're an owner, would you have bought into the league?
I don't know if I have enough information to answer that well in terms of like how the money goes into it. My immediate thought would be probably not. I just don't see, we don't have enough details on like what those deals are looking like, I feel like, because if you're just looking at the numbers of paying what the players, like what they're making, like rumors of those numbers, some of those are pretty absurd. I just don't really see how you get a return unless there's some sort of I don't know, Activision hooking it up in some way, shape, or form. I know you decided to opt out into buying into the league, and your reasons why made a lot of sense to me personally. I don't know. For me, it probably would depend on like the roster that I could get, because I feel like there's only a certain amount of players, a certain amount of brands within the league that warrant what they're actually getting, if that makes sense. So like, if you're getting like I don't want to say bottom of the barrel roster, if you're getting a shitty roster, then I don't see how it would really make sense financially. As far as like how the league is going too, viewership has been, I don't want to say going up, but it's been pretty solid. I think the switch over to YouTube was a bit of a shock for the viewership so far. And then the game doesn't help either. Modern Warfare competitive is kind of a mess. I don't feel like the players are getting like the necessary support. The maps aren't great. There's a lot of things on the competitive side that just don't really help out. I feel like maybe, I don't know, if the league debuted on like a Black Ops 4 or potentially the next title, all this, our view on the league might be a lot different. But I feel like the way that it's been going down here, I don't think competitive has really gotten an update in months and months and months. The spawns are a mess. The pros are constantly complaining. The balancing isn't great. There's just so many things wrong with it. And like, I love COD. I love competitive COD. It's where we grew up, right? And I want it to succeed. But I feel like there's just so many things holding it back, and it's largely due to the game. And it starts with that, because if the game's good, if the players are supporting it and all in, like everything's going to look better. The gameplay is going to be more fun to watch. Viewership's going to be going up. There's going to be more people playing competitive, and it all kind of stems from there. So I feel like the game being in such a poor state for competitive is sort of like the root of like the problems right now. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I agree.
I've seen a lot of the posts. I haven't followed as much as of late. I've watched a lot of the league, but listen, there's always something, man. That's the way it's always been. And I think a good testament to it is when you talk about nerfs. Like, I think this is probably the longest the meta has ever stayed the same in a game ever, right? Like, typically there's a shift as the year goes on, but we've just been like, it's basically what, three or four SMGs and one AR on a team. And by SMGs, I mean just the MP5. Like, there's just no room for anything there. And to the point where ARs, if I'm not mistaken, again, have been, people have had to switch roles due to the fact that just the MP5 is that much better. And even back in games previously, there's been adjustments, nerfs, buffs that have happened that have made certain guns become viable or the meta shift a bit. And I've seen some people mess around with the Uzi, but outside of that, nothing has changed with weapon balance in the game for competitive at all.
Yep.
And then the spawns, I know, have always been a hot topic. I think the big thing right now for me is just, man, it was like game 3 in a 5-game series is either the best or worst part of the game. Black Ops 4 Uplink was fucking lit and always a good time. Had fun to watch and had crazy moments. Infinite Warfare with Uplink. I guess Uplink mainly is just it was great for jetpack odds. Domination goes on, and I'm like, I would rather clean my room than watch a competitive domination game. When it was Capture the Flag in Call of Duty World War II, I literally quit casting because
Arden Force
CTF was the equivalent of going to the dentist in my mind. I would have rather gone and had a dentist and a doctor visit than cast Arden Forest because of how boring it was. So I feel like that's another thing that figuring out that game 3, like Hardpoint, yeah, S&D great. But man, domination just makes me want to bash my head into a wall. When a team's down by 50 points and it's literally mathematically impossible, but then they have to play out the next 3 minutes. No one enjoys that.
I mean, there's a lot of
y'all thinking about it, bro. Deadass.
Matt is so bored with the conversation already. He wants to go to bed. I mean,
no, just these Call of Duty competitive issues have existed for so long, and it's just crazy that there hasn't been a solution. I mean, you need maybe just hardpoint and S&Ds. I don't know what the answer is. Blitz was always really fun to watch. It was terrible to play, but it was really fun to watch. But I don't know, man. I actually haven't been keeping up with competitive COD enough in the maps and the gameplay to really speak on it.
Wait, I have a question. Teepee.
Yep.
Who is the better player?
Okay.
TimtheTatman or DrDisrespect? Because you know COD skill. I'm sure you've gotten some games that each of them have seen them play. It is like having, watching those two is something. Who's better in your opinion?
Okay. I have limited playtime with both.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna give it to Tim, and here's why.
Ooh.
I know.
I would have said the same thing. Don't worry.
Bold. Here's the thing. With Doc, I'm just never getting comms, and I'm a big teamwork guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's talking. He's getting anime. He's calling out. When I play with Doc, sometimes he's just muting out, doing his own thing. Like I need some comms or something, man. And I think, however, I gotta say with Doc, I got like my 500th win with him. I got my 600th win with him on Warzone. So like I've won more games with Doc, but I just need more comms from him. So that's why I have to pick Tim for the better player.
Okay. Let me say this. I respect that decision. And I would say that if Doc played with a controller, it'd be a lot closer. But in my opinion, for all the reasons that you listed, Teep, I agree. I think Tim is better than DrDisrespect. The Doc just gets bored and wants to entertain his stream. And so get in a car and go halfway across the map by himself or push a team. He won't pick you up in the car. He just goes off and does stupid shit and ends up dying. And it works really well for his stream and his character because it ends up in some funny situations. But for everybody else, like we're trying to win, and it's frustrating. But I think Doc is a good player. I just think he does stupid shit on purpose, personally. But maybe he just has terrible decision making. I don't know. But Tim is a great teamwork player. He's got a good shot. Might not play to the pace of the game the way it's supposed to be played or the better players play. But he's just fun to play with, and he's really good.
They're both great. I love playing with both of them. Don't get me wrong. You got to start some drama, though. I had to pick someone.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I'm glad you didn't stay on the fence.
Nah.
Have you seen the Symfuhny cheating allegations? And
oh yeah.
Do you think that he's a cheater alongside the rest of keyboard and mouse players, or do you think that controller players are the real cheaters?
I'm a keyboard mouse player too. I flex. I'm hybrid right now. No, I don't think Symfuhny's a cheat. I play with the guy all the time. Majority of the mornings that I play. Yeah. I think it's pretty easy for people to find certain situations, find clips, and make it seem that way. The guy's nuts. He's proven on multiple games. He's played in like LAN environments too. All that stuff's silly in my opinion. Yeah. However, I think when accusations and stuff like that happen, it actually kind of like benefits him because so many people, it might be toxic, right? But there's going to be a lot more people going into his stream to just try and watch, be like, oh wow, he was cheating right there. They're trying to pick apart his gameplay, and like that's just going to drive more people into it. It's like it's like a ploy to get more viewers almost. I'm not saying like he's the one doing it, but by people doing that, they're kind of helping him out, even though they're trying to bring him down. I think it's funny.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy how that winds up working because he's in the house and I'm seeing people tweet about it and then seeing him live react and reading his tweets. He's like, bro, I'm getting shit on him right now. I didn't do any of that. He's like, I can't believe this. And he embraces it. I mean, this kid's been cracked from H1, from Fortnite. That's why he blew up and had this career. Like he teamed with Cloaksy back then. Yeah. He's his aim ability is just insane to a T. But as you mentioned, you're a hybrid. I get frustrated at times when I know I'm facing a controller player.
Mm-hmm.
Is this whole keyboard and mouse versus controller? Is it outrageous to you? Is it like the equivalent of the console battle where it's like, listen, both are great? Or do you think there is some truth to one being too strong in some ways to the other? Because for Fortnite, it's gotten to a point where Epic is having to make adjustments to aim assist because controller players started to literally look like aimbot when they would aim in. If in Fortnite, if you're standing still with a controller and the opposing player jumps, your aim will follow them jumping without you moving your stick. It'll do this in a box. Do you think there's legitimacy to it, or you think it's just people thinking the grass is always greener on the other side, or whatever I'm not using is OP or better?
So the biggest thing, it's something that I try to dive into a lot on my channel, and I feel like it's kind of what sets me apart. I'm going to plug in my controller and drop 20, and then I'm going to plug in my mouse the next game and drop 20 again with a win, just to shut people up. But there is a difference, especially in Warzone. There's a lot of things that controller players have to deal with, specifically in Gulag and early game. You're losing aim assist. I think the default weapons, when you don't have attachments, when you're picking up floor loot, that benefits mouse players a little bit much because it's much easier to control recoil at all ranges, and you could just be a lot more, everyone says cracked, with using a mouse because you're most likely playing on a higher sensitivity. But with controller, you're just able to, aim assist is very strong in Modern Warfare and in Warzone. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what allows you to be able to abuse movement more. And I feel like if you're able to abuse like the side canceling features, it's easier to be consistent with it on controller. It just like feels more natural. Maybe that's because I played controller for so damn long. Yeah. But like my mouse KD is like 0.5, 0.6 high. I know it's just stats. It's whatever. And I started on controller. That's probably why my stats are lower. However, my mouse KD and I like my win percentage is higher on mouse. I feel like when I'm locked in and I'm warmed up on either one, I feel way more consistent in all gunfights on mouse. It favors me in like vehicle gunfights because when you hop out of vehicle, I can be super quick and whip around my sensitivity. I feel like I'm better sniping on mouse because you're able to make micro adjustments at all ranges. It's more about aiming at all ranges, and that's where you're able to just shoot so much better with a mouse. However, if you can abuse and really learn how to use like the sliding and movement, like movements where you're going to have an easier time with controller. So aiming wise, mouse, movement wise, and like positioning, things like that, controller. That's with a lot of hours played on both, a lot of freaking wins on both. I think the argument is pretty stupid.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Tyler, you're making me look bad because my argument as to why my KD is lower than most players that are comparable to me in skill is because I played on keyboard and mouse for too long. But I think it's clear that you're just better than me at keyboard and mouse. I agree with a lot of things you said. My movement sucks on keyboard and mouse. Like it's not weird. It's not as crisp. It's not as smooth. You know, when I'm like bobbing and weaving inside of Superstore with a controller, I feel like as long as I don't get jumped from a couple different angles, I control my own destiny and I can really slide cancel around corners or, pivots, stutter step, you know what I mean? So it's just easier for me. But like the problem that I have on PC and keyboard and mouse is the close range gunfights, because when I see Symfuhny play and he locks on, his mouse doesn't move and it looks like he's got aim assist when he's already shooting and he won't miss a shot. But when I'm playing keyboard and mouse, I might hit my first shot, but a couple shots out of like 20, 30 bullets are going to miss. And that's why I lose medium range gunfights, is because if I'm locked on an aim assist on controller, I'm going to win that gunfight. But if I'm on keyboard and mouse, I'm going to start missing. But it's definitely easier to aim long range. That's why I miss about playing keyboard and mouse. I wish I could snipe all the time on keyboard and mouse, and the long range Grawl gunfights. It's just tough, man. There's pros and cons to each.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just like I don't know what your hours are. Like I started gaming on PC. So like a mouse is almost feels more fluent to me at times than controller does, because that's where I kind of started gaming.
That's wild.
Especially playing shooters. So like my transition over to console and controller was once I started like watching like Halo MLGs back in the day, things like that. So like maybe that's because I like started mouse, switched to controller, and now I kind of play both. I played like a lot of Overwatch at a high level too on mouse, so I have like a lot of like repetitions. But yeah, what you said about the like close range gunfights, it's just like you just have to practice like your tracking, and like it's all about centering, and it feels so natural doing it on a controller. And it took me like legit months to really feel comfortable. Like I just recently played my first Warzone tournament on mouse because it took me that long and that many games and that many hours to feel comfortable enough and consistent enough. So it takes a lot of time, and playing on both at a high level is hard to do, but I feel like it just kind of sets me apart. So I want to keep doing it.
Heard it from the king himself.
There it is. We talked a lot about controller versus keyboard and mouse, but another age old battle, as I mentioned, it was PlayStation versus Xbox, and we're back in another year where two new consoles are coming out. I don't think we've done a show yet, Matt and I, with the new PlayStation reveals for everything with PS5. I guess just general thoughts on PlayStation 5, things to come with it. For me, I think it looks clean. I think it's really smart to fully embrace the digital side. I have not owned a physical copy of a game since Titanfall 2 for the Xbox One, which was now like 6 or 7 years. Like I no longer buy physical copies of games. I love that it's digital. The digital one, because there's no disc drive, is actually symmetrical, so it looks even cleaner than the first one that was the first image that was shown. I think that I'm really interested to see when the price point comes out. And also, if I'm a gamer right now and I'm looking at everything to be released, I still think PlayStation wins on exclusives. Yes. But with Halo Infinite probably being revealed now in the next three or 4 weeks with Xbox's equivalent of that PlayStation show for their Xbox Series X, Halo Infinite's going to have to pull a lot of weight for me to be like, yeah, if you can buy just one console, get the Xbox, when PlayStation's exclusives are still just so much better.
I completely agree. The PS5 looks absolutely dope, and I'm a big gamer. I love my RPG games. I love my single players, and it's all about exclusives for me too. Yeah. It's been kind of weird, and you guys are probably on the same page. Like the console that I would main for would probably just depend on whatever the Call of Duty like World League or Call of Duty League was on at the time, and it's been PlayStation for a decent while now. But even going back to Xbox, it like kind of depended. But I think I just don't know what exclusive games that Xbox could bring to the table to really sway my opinion. I just think I have to stay on PlayStation. There's just too many titles that I'm looking forward to that I think takes it home. And then just looking at the console too, I think the PS5 just looks way cooler. It doesn't really matter that much, but like
it's a router versus a fridge.
Biggest thing too that I need to like. I recently started. I finally like got like my dual PC set up and things like that. It's like I'm kind of diving into the dual PC like stream world, right? So it's like at what point it's like, do I even want to buy a console? I'm probably gonna pick one up no matter what, but it depends on how many cool single player games, how many cool games I could play. Straight up,
dude. Playing Warzone on. I see Scump playing Warzone on PlayStation, and then obviously I play on PC. He looks like he's playing in a third world country. I mean, the game looks fucking terrible. I mean, I'm excited for the PS5. I think it looks really good, but with the advancements that they've made with like aim assist when you have a controller plugged in on PC, I almost don't have a reason to buy a console unless like Tyler said, it's an exclusive on PlayStation that's like really, really good. But nowadays, I feel like you're shooting yourself in the foot if you have an exclusive. Like if you don't allow people on PC to play it, I mean, what are we talking about? So,
yeah, the FOV is like, it looks like everyone's running in slow motion when you watch COD on console because they don't have the FOV. Like even now, I just pulled up formal stream for a second, and I was like, man, it just looks so strange to me how it is, but. PS5 versus Xbox Series X. That it's funny how that battle will just forever rage on. I bet I can make a 2 million view TikTok right now if I did a PlayStation versus Xbox and then just let the kids on TikTok run rampant with Xbox gang, PlayStation for life, and everything. It never changed. It's been that way for 15 years, and at this point, it seems like it will never stop. There's never a Nintendo doesn't even try to do that. They just know to stay in their lane with what they do the best, which is those, you know, their exclusive games of Zelda and Mario and all that stuff. So it's just funny how there's just never been a third one, a third console that's released.
Did you see the Pokemon? You see Pokemon Snap? Did you guys play that when you were younger?
I didn't play it as a kid. I didn't.
Bro, I saw that. It's coming and I started geeking out. I love that game, man.
Dude, Pokemon Snap as a kid, I tweeted at my parents. I was like, remember me playing this? And my mom was like, yeah, she couldn't like remember how old, like long ago that was. Like Pokemon Snap, the original was 21 years ago. Crazy. I was 5. I was literally a 5-year-old in my basement, just like living the dream playing Pokemon Snap. You ever seen those TikToks where they're like, I dropped out of college to become a photographer and here's what it looks like, and it's like these shitty blurry photos. That's what my photos on Pokemon Snap looked like. It was like, if I was trying to take a picture of this, like I would just get like the end of it in my frame like that, and I would be like, I got the Pikachu.
So got Charmander's tail.
No, for sure. And I was like, look, Mom and Dad. They're like, oh, Jesus, we're gonna have to get him in extra classes when he grows up.
He's not good.
He's not good. He's really not talented. No, I for one love when when a game that was so well received, like even just Skate 4 was just announced and Avalanche is freaking out. Like, when there's just that surprise of some of those great nostalgic memories, they come back and get brought back, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that hope, Pokemon Snap, for example, or Skate now being brought back from the dead. You saw Jack and Daxter, or Ratchet and Clank, last week is getting people hyped. I love that stuff, man. Gaming is just so unique with the stories and memories people can make that it'll never get old seeing those things yet. Everyone looks back on fondly, get brought back. I don't know, you know, Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer is like, I think, the most COD equivalent of what they can do now, of what they could bring back and blow people away, but I just don't think they'll ever do it.
I don't think so either.
I think they learned after Modern Warfare
Remastered. Need it, bro. Like, dude, I want some new shit, man. I want it to be good. I mean, I get nostalgia, but there's been so many remakes. Like, let's give me new Call of Duty that's good.
Yeah,
it's like when they brought back Crash at the beginning of Modern Warfare. I'm like, I don't actually care, man. You've brought Crash back like 4 fucking times. How many years am I gonna play this map? Like, let me get something good.
Yeah.
I sound very negative on this Call of Duty, but I actually do love playing Warzone.
Yeah.
I complain about it a lot, but dude, Tyler, honestly, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. We need to get more games on in the morning. We play at the same time. I got to hit you up more often.
He's always with the Breaktime Boys, dude. I mean, at this point, why would he pick you up if his Breaktime Boys teammate Maven's killing you in the gulag?
True. Oh, man, you just had to add that in, dude.
The dagger.
Bro, I was sat in here. Getting ready to start my stream, and bro, I'm hearing Matt scream bloody murder. Like, literally, I thought he was being attacked with a machete in real life. So I opened his stream like, is this fool about to be dead? And then I see him freaking out, and the whole chat's spamming Maven. And then I'm like, damn, let me stay tuned in. And then I watch him lose. And then, bro, all I start hearing is smacks on the ground because you like jumped on the floor. You were kicking and banging your feet.
Well, because, I mean, do you know, what are the odds that I die to him in Superstore at the beginning of the game and then face him in the gulag?
With all the people that die off spawn is insane.
Do you know how crazy that is? And then, I like, literally thinking I have the kill, and he turns around. He jumps around the corner and burns my ass, bro. That shit hurt, man. Then I assassinated him when we both got back from the gulag.
That was so funny, bro. You giggled like a 5-year-old on Christmas when you had the chance to go up next to that car and assassinate him.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess that's one of the only parts I like of skill based, is that when I want to have fun, there's those opportunities where it's like we actually get in the same game. Outside of that, it's the most outrageous, annoying shit in the world. But people
get rid of skill based. It's not worth it.
Well, yeah, there you go. Okay,
I'm trying to chill.
Yeah, bro. It will. People like us will just always hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's meant to stop people like us from dominating everybody else. But Teepee, again, thank you, Tyler, man. It's such a joy to talk with you. You're so easy to talk with, and God damn it, your voice is sexy. And I know you've heard it from me a million times, but every time you talk, I literally, like, I'm just like, man, why haven't my balls ever dropped?
Okay, dude. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for having me on. Honestly, you guys are both like inspirations for me to see what you guys have been able to do to move on from Call of Duty and continue to prosper in whatever you're doing. You guys are amazing. Thanks for having me on, and hopefully we can keep on going with this crazy content ride.
Man, the ship ain't stopping anytime soon.
Yo,
if you guys see this, check out everything of Tyler's in the description. Show him love. If you guys want some of the best Warzone gameplays and performances on YouTube to see what some of the best are doing, you got to check out Teepee's channel. I know Tyler's crushing it on Twitch, and I know you've been putting a lot of effort into growing your YouTube side of things. So I think you're someone that doesn't get enough recognition on the YouTube front for just how skilled you are. So go check out Teepee. Go watch his videos. But with that being said, thank you again to Cash App and Chipotle for sponsoring the CouRage and Nadeshot Show. As always, the episodes continue to bring in more and more viewers, and you guys continue to show so much love. So if you hear my voice right now, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, help 100 Thieves hit 800,000 subscribers on YouTube. And finally, leave 5 stars if you're listening on iTunes. It's going to do it for all of us. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
See you guys.
See you guys.